Good afternoon, Ospreys. You're watching Nest News live from the Student Union. I'm Annette Howard.
And I'm Daryl Dukes. Coming up on today's show, Interfaith's director leaving,
student government's new senators in a joint resolution,
a UNF graduate student's book,
campus canines,
the weather,
and a sports update. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. Matt Hartley, the director of the Interfaith Center, has traded that position for a new one, the director of Interfaith programs at the One Jacks Institute. One Jacks, a local nonprofit organization, used to be part of UNF but cut its ties with the university in March, citing a desire to remain unrestricted by impending anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion laws. Hartley is not the only UNF employee to resign this year. Between long vacant student staff positions, student affairs specialist, Bryant Wilcox stepping back earlier this year, and now Hartley, the Interfaith Center is left empty. The center will still be physically open at its current location in Founders Hall, including the library and reflection room, but with no employees, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion will take on responsibilities like answering questions, monitoring the rooms, and posting on social media. The state legislature passed SB 266, which went into effect in July, and the Florida Board of Governors released a draft policy for universities on November 9th, but it's yet to be approved. It is unknown how the law will impact the Interfaith Center or what will become of it once the Office of Diversity and Inclusion closes as expected. Hartley will continue teaching as an adjunct religion professor, a position he began this semester, and One Jacks will soon establish a campus engagement program called Interfaith Campus Connect. It will link universities across Jacksonville, including UNF, despite the dissolution of their official partnership, according to Hartley. UNF announced last Tuesday that a new permanent interfaith space was opening in the Student Union. The effort closed out the last project Hartley was working on just days before resigning. Hartley, who got his bachelor's degree from UNF, said he wants to continue supporting its students, faculty, and staff, but with these new laws, he said that work will be done better from the outside. It's unlikely he will be the last to do so.
Before Thanksgiving, UNF Student Government Senate swore in the winners of the fall 2023 election. In total, 20 senators won seats, but only those present at the meeting were sworn in at that meeting. The Senate also passed a joint resolution that condemns Governor Ron DeSantis and reaffirms their commitment to diversity. Though there was opposition from some of the senators about the purpose of the resolution, it passed. The resolution is officially titled J.R. 23F3714, Resolution Condemning Florida's Executive Overreach and Upholding Academic Freedom in Florida's Higher Education Institutions. Senate President Pro Tempore Alex Mendoza Hernandez authored it, and University and Student Affairs Committee Chair Lissy Morales sponsored it. Morales is also the president of Students for a Democratic Society, a student-run activist group at UNF, which has been vocal against DeSantis this year. Inspired by a recent Osprey Voice, which is a monthly survey that collects student responses, Mendoza told the Senate that students wanted SG to take a more active role in standing up against, in their eyes, overreach by the governor. It reaffirms SG's commitment to academic excellence, academic freedom, diversity, and the free exchange of ideas without executive interference, according to the joint resolution's text. The resolution also calls upon DeSantis to, quote, respect these principles in his actions towards higher education institutions in Florida, unquote. After the red zone, a time of heightened sexual assaults on college campus ends, UNF graduate student Gina Caserta wants to keep the conversation about college sexual assault alive. 93% of children and teen sexual assault victims actually know their assaulter, in cases reported to law enforcement, according to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. The remaining 7% are strangers. That statistic rang true for Caserta, who was assaulted by a close friend of 9 years during her sophomore year at another university. Through sharing her story, she hopes to help others understand their own. She feels through her book titled In 50 Pages or More, readers will know they are not alone. To learn more about her story and In 50 Pages or More, you can find her book in the description below or on its website.
Thanksgiving has passed and the final few weeks of the fall semester are here. Though the end is in sight, it will also be stressful for many students. That's where the Campus Canines program comes in. Started in 2021, Campus Canines was created with the express purpose of students having trained pets visit with persons to provide therapeutic intervention for those who are ill, stressed, or otherwise permanently or situationally disadvantaged. According to the Campus Canines website, donations and small grants fund it and have garnered significant success with many students utilizing the service. Dr. Caroline Taylor, the director of the center overseeing the Campus Canines, says, Campus Canines are on campus at least once a week and sometimes twice. One significant benefit of Campus Canines is that the dogs can help students emotionally and physically. Taylor says, petting dogs increases oxytocin, decreases heart rate, and improves overall sense of being. Campus Canines plans to be in the library more frequently for the rest of the semester to help students unwind from finals preparation.
And now to Angel for your sports update.
What's up, Ospreys? Angel Molado here for your sports update for the week. We have a lot to get through from before and during the break, so let's get into it. Men's basketball won against Northwestern State Devils the Friday before Thanksgiving, 80-74. The Ospreys led the Devils by 4 points going into the second half, 36-32. The Ospreys continued to outscore the Devils, only going down once before the end of the game. Both Chaz Lanier and Dorian James posted double-doubles for the game, which is what helped provide the Ospreys with this victory. The next day, the Ospreys played against the Maine Bears. The Ospreys outscored them by 10 in the first half, leading 38-28. A sloppy start to the second half from the Ospreys offensively led to the Bears tying the match with around 8 minutes to go in the game. The Ospreys slowly rallied back to win 67-58. Last Friday, over the break, the men's team also played the LSU Tigers. The Ospreys had a very slow start to the game, only scoring 18 points in the first half to make it 18-36. In the second half, the Ospreys started finding their rhythm, going on a 14-point run. The comeback seemed in sight for the Ospreys, but in the closing minutes of the game, LSU held on strong, leaving the game a 63-75 loss for the Ospreys. On Wednesday the 29th, the Ospreys traveled all the way to Iowa to play the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hawkeyes and Ospreys battled it out in the first half, with the Ospreys only being down by 4. The Ospreys started the second half strong, but the Hawkeyes proved to be too much to handle for the Ospreys, and they lost 78-103. After all of these games, the men's basketball team is now 4-4. Women's basketball played against the USF Bulls the Sunday before Thanksgiving. The Ospreys started off kind of slow, with the Bulls being up by 17 points at one point in the first half. The Ospreys slowly made a comeback with the score being 29-42 by half. The second half showed off the Ospreys' defense, with the Bulls only scoring 14 points in the second half. The Ospreys were making a comeback, but the Bulls recovered a rebound and ran out the time, leaving the game a heartbreaking 55-56 loss. The Ospreys also played against the USC Upstate Spartans the Saturday after Thanksgiving. The Ospreys started off the first half strong, leading 38-28 by half. In the second half, the Ospreys' defense was slowed down by the Spartans, with the Ospreys only scoring 30 points in the second half, while the Spartans outscored the Ospreys, leaving the game a 60-73 loss. The Ospreys then played a match Wednesday night against the Warner Lions. The Ospreys showed out on offense by scoring 40 points in the first half of the game. The team overall held strong in the second, but Kayla Rougier had her second career double-double, putting up 18 points and 14 rebounds, helping the Ospreys with a 68-51 win. After these slew of games, the women's basketball team is left with a record of 2-6. Women's volleyball played against the Lipscomb Bisons in the semifinals the Friday before Thanksgiving, and in a hard-fought match, lost in the fifth set of the match. This heartbreaking loss put a stop to the Osprey underdog story after they upset number 3 Eastern Kentucky in the quarterfinals just the day before. This loss put the women's volleyball team with a final record of 17-15 and 9-7 in the ASUN Conference. This was also the last game for all of the seniors this year, so we wish them luck in whatever they do. This is the third time the Ospreys have gotten stopped in the semifinals in the past 6 seasons. Maybe next year we'll finally break through to the championship. Coming up this weekend, men's basketball plays against the High Point Eagles tomorrow night here at the UNF Arena at 2 p.m. That's all I have for you today, Ospreys. See you next week for your sports update. Swoop!
Are you new to campus or want some new insight into what's provided here at UNF? Check out Spinnaker's 2023 Freshman Zine. In here, you'll find all sorts of tips on sports here at UNF. parking, how to join a club, and other resources here on campus. Pick up one of these in any blue box around campus. You know, I was thinking about stopping by a blue box to pick up a freshman zine.
You absolutely should.
Do you think it'll be nice weather on my way down there?
I don't know, but Rachel sure does. Here's Rachel with your local weather update.
Good afternoon, Ospreys. My name is Rachel Backus, here to update you with our weekly weather report. Today is partly cloudy with wind speeds up in the 14 mile per hour in the afternoon. That will carry into the evening. Our high will be no more than 8 degrees and will go down to the 50s for our low temperature. The weekend will continue with highs in the 70s and lows into the 60s with 30% chance of rain this Sunday. Our weekly highs will decrease, dropping down to 68 degrees on Friday with a drop from 50 and 60 to 40s for week's low temperatures. These colder temperatures will be paired with partially cloudy but mostly sunny weather continuing into next Saturday. That's all I have for you today, Ospreys. Back to you, Anna and Daryl.
That's just about all we have for you today, Ospreys.
Remember, consider donating to support Spinnaker through the link in the description below.
For all things Spinnaker, check out our website at unfspinnaker.com.
Also, make sure to follow us on our Instagram at UNFSpinnaker and check out the rest of our YouTube for more content.
As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Daryl Dukes.
And I'm Annette Howard.
We'll see you next week on Spinnaker's Nest News.